So the Lord made me stumble upon a white man, another one, that wants to tell the truth, but he has a, he has great understanding, but when you don't know the Lord and you don't understand, I'ma fuck his shit up. Let's
Will
go.
explain answers to all of them and provide you with a better understanding of yourself and your ancestors. The United States Census data has shown that in the year 2000, more than 700,000 people claimed to be Cherokee. And in 2010, that number had risen to over 800,000. Of all those claiming to have Cherokee ancestry, around 70% of them claim to be mixed race, suggesting that there are as many as twice the amount of people that say they are Cherokee than those that actually are Cherokee.
What he's saying is, a whole bunch of white people say they're fucking Cherokee Indians. A whole bunch of Spanish, a whole bunch of every fucking body in the world says, we're Native Americans too, because when we came over here and we conquered them and fucked them up, we took their wives and slept with them. And got land contracts through blood to rule over your shit.
It is likely that even if the story is true about your Cherokee ancestry,
It is.
they are simply too far back to show up on a DNA test. We all have the same number of ancestors, and we all get on average the same amount of DNA from each of them. We all have two parents and get approximately 50% of our DNA from them. We have 4 grandparents, 25%, 8 great-grandparents, 12.5%, 16 second great-grandparents, 6.25%, 32 third great-grandparents, 3.13%, 64 fourth great-grandparents, 1.56%, 128 fifth grade.
What he's saying is, even when you got with those women, every single time you don't get with another one because that child is now within your bloodline, so he looks sort of like you, and he gets special privilege to rule over the ones that don't look like him, he's going to choose another one of you. He's not going to choose the ones that are enslaved because then his child's a fucking slave. So, you have birth with one of them, and then you have that child have birth with you because he has the blood tie to the land. And then you have the privilege thing, and we're the best, you gotta be with us. So every time he has to kill one of them, the blood of the Cherokee or any nation that you do this to dilutes back out of the future children. That's what he's saying. So even if you did that, we're years ahead now. You're not nothing. You're not nothing. You have a descendant of it, but it dilutes. And I'm gonna make you understand why the Lord wrote the Bible and said, "Be with your people. Don't fuck everybody. Don't do it." Because you're mixing your DNA, and as time goes on, no one will have original bloodlines. And the Most High doesn't want that. Not even the bad guys want that. Nobody wants to erase the face of their forefather forever. It's retarded. You're connected to their spirits and shit. If you dilute it all out of you, you can't call on Grandpa. You can't call on your wolf guards and shit. Can't be protected by the spirit. Because you diluted the blood out of you. And my father wrote in a book that your soul's in your blood. Get it? And let's move on.
Great grandparents for a 0.78% average of our DNA to come from each one of them. To further complicate things, the percentages from each ancestor level is not perfect.
Nope.
It is unlikely that you get 25% from each grandparent. It is likely that you'll get a mix of each, which totals to 100%.
Now, DNA and all your fucking DNA bullshit or whatever, my father said whatever the fuck the sperm comes out of, that's what the fuck you are. If your pappy, your great-great-grandpappy's a nigga, you're a nigga until you dilute that blood out of you. That's why they had laws. If you have 1 drop of nigger blood, you're a nigger. That's what they said. And that's why they kept their women away from us, because they understand the point of this shit. Once you start mixing with them, their blood is strong. It's going to make your kids look more like them every time you do it. And you can look around the goddamn neighborhood where you live at, where all the girls like the black guys, and they have a kid with them, and they're tan as fuck. They have the afro. There's only 2 types of people in the world, people. People with afros and straight hair people. Get it? No beef. No beef.
25% from each grandparent. It is likely that you'll get a mix of each, which totals to 100%. If you use this...
You know what they say your culture is? Your heritage. You know what my Most High said? This is my crown. This is the proof to who the fuck I am. Woolly hair, sheep-like hair, like Jesus. This is how I started to understand I was Israel, because I said I fit the phenotypes. I look like them. And then I studied my ancient Egyptian people, and I seen King Tut. And I said, that nigga's face is long like mine, and if I shave my mustache off, I look like that nigga.
Standard of the average of every 25 years as a generation, and someone who is 50 years old in the year 2025 and born in 1975, that person's 5th great-grandparent would be born around the year 1800. If one of the 128 of them was full-blooded Cherokee, we would only have an average of less than 1% Cherokee DNA. Add to the fact that most marriages between Europeans and Cherokee took place in the late 1600s to the late 1700s. This ancestor that is a legend in your family lore is even further back and even less of a percentage of your DNA. The fact is, if the Cherokee ancestor...
See, he ain't going at it biblical. You know what that means? You don't have the blood in you, so now you can't be on the land. You don't own it anymore. Your blood contract's over. And we have the right, the ones that do have it, to say, bye-bye. But we know we can't do that. You know what I want to do? I want you $5 Indians. Did you know white people paid $5 back in the day to get licensed as they were Indians? I want all you $5 Indians off my motherfucking land, because they gave you money to have that farmland, and you don't farm. They pay you not to farm. They pay you not to do the traditions. They pay you not to do anything. You just run around and you're holding my motherfucking land, and I want you off my shit. I want you off my shit. I want you off our shit. Yous have all the rest of the United States. Yous can fucking relocate anytime yous want. Yous can create money anytime you want, and they can go build new homes for yous easy. Get off my land. It's the time. It's that time. See, I got a lot stored up in this mind. Y'all think I'm fucking playing with you.
Does exist in your family tree. They are likely so far back that they have been, in a sense, washed out of your DNA. I must also go on record saying that just because your DNA test didn't show any Native American DNA does not prove that the person doesn't have at least one Native ancestor. It just means that that ancestor is further back in the timeline of their family tree.
This is why I say you're fucking mutants. See, I say black people are the X-Men. We're hated like the X-Men. We're not the mutants. You are. Every time you have sex with another race and you're this and, oh, he's cute and I want his eyes and I want this, you're mutating yourselves. You're becoming a mixed multitude within one person. You're no longer your ancestors. You're a fucking, you're a new thing. You're a new man. You're not a beast or something or whatever. It's not bad. I'm saying you're not original no more. You're a mutation. Not no. Your DNA has all these different things. It doesn't have the original no more. That's what made the X-Men the mutants. they had a different gene in them, it was because of a gene. And it made them different. It's not hate. It's not, oh, I'm mad. I'm talking mad because I noticed for years. Years. I just don't know how to go about the goddamn paperwork and get my shit. I want to go home.
Sadly, the stories about our Cherokee ancestors may not 100% be proved or disproved scientifically. I also want to go on record that some believe our connection to our ancestors is spiritual and maybe even embedded in our DNA. For more information,
why don't y'all sing y'all fucking Native American songs? You're Indians, right? You're fucking Americans and you're, I'm this and I'm that. How come you gave it all up for fucking rap? Jungle Bunny music. You dress like niggas. Why? Why don't you want to hear your ancient music? Why don't you want to dress like it? Why don't you want to learn about it? Why does a nigga gotta fucking tell you? 'Cause I'm them. I have more of my ancestors in me than you, so it draws me to it. I hear it and I'm like, oh, why do I like that? I like those words. I don't know what they mean. I'm gonna sing the song now. I'm going to listen to it over and over and over until I can sing it, and I don't know what I'm singing. Why? Because it's in my blood.
Research DNA memory or racial memory.
Oh, really?
There's something to be said about what you feel inside your soul.
Really?
We should definitely pay attention to that. The DNA tests are not perfect, and often due
They're
to
man-made.
small percentages, the DNA reported as East Asian or Middle Eastern could actually be Native American. Most experts agree that less than 2% of a certain ethnicity could be what is called DNA noise, and the pinpointing of the
DNA
exact
bullshit.
group becomes a bit murky. So if you see that you have one...
Do you understand that they taught you in high school that Chinese people came over the fucking Arctic Strait, and then they came down here, and they are the fucking Indians that we know now? With the big ass noses and shit, and they're bigger or smaller than them. Have you ever seen a Native American that looks like a fucking Chinese person? Yes, you have. Have you ever seen a Spanish person and mistaken them for a fucking Chinese person? I have. I live in a town where every other fucking day I see one. Why? Are certain Spanish people really Chinese descendants that mixed with somebody else like the European or the nigger? That's why they have the nigger nose and the afros. I wonder why what are the Dominicans are nothing. These are like black people. Keep your black looking ass with your afro. Keep your ass over there. Why us that have the straight hair, we roll over you. And you shut your fucking mouth.
1% sub-Saharan African in your DNA, it may not be true.
Why?
It could be DNA noise. But if you have 0%, that is accurate. It is all...
I wonder what would happen if, because he's saying, I'm done with this fucker. I'm done. I don't need him anymore. He's telling you what it is. You just go. The video says, no, you are not Cherokee. History of the biggest myth in genealogy. Go look it up and watch the rest of the video yourself. It's only 18 minutes. I'm not beat. I've been studying genealogy, and thank you, Lex, because you put me on that and started like pointing out the features and shit from the Bible and said, nigga, the Bible said Jacob will never wax pale. Do you understand that means there's always going to be a fucking line of Jacob that does not have sex with other people? And I couldn't believe that because I watch my people run around with everybody. And then, you know, I kind of didn't. I kind of got in trouble because I didn't want to have a mixed baby in it with a crazy white woman that believed my crazy ass mother. For some reason, the Lord made sure that every woman that was not who it was supposed to be with, that baby didn't live. He made whatever choices that made, and them have the miscarriages or the abortions, and he will not let me. This is why I say I know I'm for one woman or a certain two.